want to give a shout out to my co-host Michael Stitz. He's not able to be with us today, and I want to give a shout out to some of my coworkers. One of my good friends, Perez Foster, up in the house. He's a good friend of mine, and he worked down in the county on the dock. Also, Smith's work on the dock. I think Smith's one of the best workers down there. Yeah, Smith, you. Woo. And Butler, you okay too. And I also want to give a special shout out to Peter Scott and his wife, Frida. They are really good people. They've been blessing me. They've been sowing into the ministry. I love you. God bless. Stay strong. And you guys out there, you can listen to them. But I want to give a shout out to my buddy, co-host, Phil Robinson in the house. What's up, Phil?
Let's chop it up, TC. Let's chop it up. Let's chop it up. You know, I just want to just say it is a good day. And it's just a good day to just be alive and have a second chance at things.
Amen.
It's just a good day. It's just a good day. The sun is shining, and I just think we serve a God of the second chance. And he's blessing us, and he's taking care of us, and we owe it to him to do our part. You know, he did his part already. Now we got to do our part.
Amen.
That's so true. Forgive me because, it's that season.
Well, you should have on the Browns.
Well, listen,
Cleveland Browns.
It's that season, so I got the Jets hat and I got the Jets joint on and kiss the ring, baby. I got the championship Jets ring on.
You try to cause trouble.
See, the Bible says that we're supposed to speak these things that are not as though they were.
Well, the Browns gonna win the Super Bowl.
Okay, and I'm trying to say the Jets is gonna win the Super Bowl. So
Jets gonna win year after.
We're gonna see whose prayer gets past the ceiling this year.
All right, hallelujah.
Right. It's a good day.
And we got a special person in the house today. A friend of mine, a buddy of mine. We're gonna be talking some things. We're going to be chopping up some things. I want to introduce to you guys Stephen Key. What's up, Stephen?
How you doing, TC? I appreciate you having me on the show and everything today. And hey, I'm just looking forward to the show.
Good. Hallelujah. We're going to be chopping it up. We're going to be talking. Well, we got all the brothers on the show today. So we're going to be talking some manly stuff. So you women, you want to go get your man, go get him so he can hear some of this stuff. Mm-hmm. And you women, you might want to stay tuned to check it out because we're going to be talking about y'all too. So here we go. Go. Now, Steve, you're a good friend of mine. Been knowing you for some years. Me and you was working together down at the county, and you're a good-looking guy, and a lot of women look at you as a good-looking guy, and you have some women in your time, and tell me about a little bit about you and the women and how you treat the women.
Well, how can I put it? Yeah, I have my fair share of females I've dealt with in the past. I think, one of the things, that I regret is that I was married at the time, you know what I mean? And I shouldn't have been doing what I was doing, you know what I mean? And you got to own up to that. You got to man up to that.
Without a doubt,
Because regardless of not, adultery is not tolerated, you know what I'm saying? But, in my time, I guess, it was interesting, you know what I mean? As far as how it was easy to deal with certain females and stuff like that when I really sit back and look at how women respond. I mean, it's like you got a lot of women here that haven't even left out the city of Cleveland, you know what I mean? It was just easy to just take them somewhere and you'll be a part of their heart forever.
Oh, wow. So it sounds like to me you sort of learn how to analyze women and learn them very good and push right buttons.
Yes.
Is that sort of right?
Yes.
Is that sort of correct?
That's correct.
Wow. So keep on. That's very interesting. Hey, this is not for the guys to be a player now, so don't be taking these notes.
Yeah.
We try to put things in perspective.
Yeah. Public service announcement. We are not teaching you how to be a player.
This is cause and effect.
This is cause and effect. Public service announcement. One more time. We are not teaching you to be a player.
Right.
Then I think, then I noticed, like over the years, one of the problems I think in relationship and with women nowadays is no fathers. You know what I'm saying? I can probably count on my hands from the 80s to now how many households I went to and there was no father figures. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of relationships nowadays, I think that man, we was always raised to feel like the boys, the sons needed fathers, but the women need the fathers just as much as the young men, because what happens is they grow up in a female dominant home. And when they grow up in a female dominant home, they have a hard time relating to a man. You know what I'm saying? Because they've always had that female that was the dominant one.
Right.
You know, then on top of, you know, we have a lot of issues nowadays with women being broken, and men, don't get me wrong, and men. There's a lot of broken men out here too, and a lot of broken women, you know.
That's a good point because, well, I very seldom thought of the father not being in the house, the effect it would have on the daughter. Most of the time we think of the effect they have on the sons. And the Bible really put everything in perspective, because the Bible's really intend for a man and a woman to be together, because the man has a part to play and the woman has the part to play. The husband and the wife have parts to play in the development of the daughter and of the son. And that's a very good point that you brought up, and it can affect both the daughter and the son if either parent is not there, because it just does. That God meant for family to be together in love, and that's what he meant with marriage and things like that. But that was a good point. What do you think about that, Phil?
I like the way you just put that, because you said that the man and the woman are supposed to be together, and it's so important because we were born to marry, to be married. Mm-hmm. We were born to be married. It's just even in with Adam and Eve, God knew that Adam was missing something, so he gave Adam Eve, and that completed them. Which in some cases people believe that Adam was complete before then. In his own mind, he probably thought he was complete because he had dominion over this and dominion over that. But marriage is honorable. Mm-hmm. And I just think that we're born to be married.
Right.
So anyone that feels that they were born to be single all their life, I just think that they haven't had some of the experiences or some of the good experience that we've received as being married. Mm-hmm. Even though marriage is work. But I just want to say that we were born to be married.
Right.
It's just an ordination. It's just ordained from God to be married. Mm-hmm. And I just think that once the family nucleus is together, the husband, the wife, and the kids, then everything else falls into place.
Now, we got to tell the Catholic Church that we are born to be married, because, you know, they don't get married, the priests, though, at all. They follow, you know, the customs of not getting married. And a lot of people are saying maybe that's why some of them was, going the direction they was going with the boys and sexual misconduct.
Well, it goes to show you, TC, that, you know, in the church as well as in the world, we have these natural urges.
Yeah, and then God gave us to us.
That's right. This is God-given urges. We have these natural urges, and and this is probably a show for another topic for another show, but if the Catholic priests were allowed to marry and have wives and have children, maybe the pedophilia wouldn't be so prevalent in the Catholic Church. Yeah. But it seems like that might be a topic for another show.
Yeah. So, Key, going back to the women now. So, did you find it easy to talk to women, or you pick certain ones, or how do you go about, when you was going after them? What did you look for exactly?
I really didn't look for nothing. Basically, a woman she would let you know if she wants you or not. You know what I mean? Like, it's the old saying I used to say, we don't do the choosing. I just put myself in a position to be chosen. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that we do the choosing, they do the choosing. You just got to find out the energy. They'll let you know in certain type of ways they're interested in you. And that's when I did what I had to do. Okay.
Now, I find this, very interesting, because, this is going all around the world. We could talk about Magic Johnson. We could talk about many guys who have, Will Chamberlain. They have many women. They went after many, many women. And you going after women, whatnot. Was there a specific reason why you was going after them, or was what was going on in your mind and your heart, or because when I was chasing the women, I was just having fun. I was, sex was great. It was fun, and I'm doing my thing. I'm like, trying to be the gorilla in the jungle, So I was just, beating my chest, oh, until my wife came along, like, put that down. What you doing, boy? I said, I ain't doing nothing. So tell me, how was you going out there? What did was you just having fun, or was it a void, or what?
I think it was a void in my marriage. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
it had to do with like I said, once again, the brokenness. When I didn't realize this until I got into the trouble, and then I had to go to anger management program, and then when you go through these programs and the education comes into play, you start realizing that when a person had been broken and something happened to them in their past, you know what I mean, it affects how they react. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I never knew
Cause and effect.
Cause and effect. I never knew rape, molestation, and stuff like that, how it affects a woman long term. Now I understand why when we was down in the county, you say, well, why a guy get 10 years for murder, but a guy got 30 years for rape? Because it's the long term effect that it does to a woman. You know what I mean? Whether she don't know how to show affection, she don't want to kiss, she don't want to have sex. It's a whole lot of little things. And I had to go through that in my marriage, you know what I'm saying? So it was things that I was missing, and which drove me to seek it. Because if you're missing something, you're going to seek it.
And other avenues, whether you know it or not. But hey, you guys, you want to call in and ask a question and see what's going on, you just want to chop it up, you can call 216-298-1554. Come on in and get into this conversation, y'all.
I do have a question for Key. Key, so explain to the viewers the type of relationship that you had with your father.
With my father?
Yes.
I had an excellent relationship with my father. My father was from the South, so he was very strict, very, he demanding, you know what I mean? He took me everywhere, took me different places, was always down south or just that another every summer. He didn't play about education, you know what I mean? Because he felt like, hell, if you got to go to summer school, you done blew my vacation.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
He wasn't playing that,
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
So,
So was you going to summer school or not?
No.
Come here, bro. Get that belt.
I think I experienced that one too many times at midnight when you woke up.
I'm with you on that.
Yes. And the reason why I asked that, Key, is because it's important of our upbringing. What type of relationships did we have with our father?
Yes.
Because some are demanding, some are disciplinarians, some, if I could just open up this box real quick,
Go ahead.
some say, son, I want you to go out there and I want you to conquer as many women as you can. Don't worry about getting married. Plant your seed wherever you want to go and do whatever you want to do and sow your royal oats. What do you feel about a father that speaks things like that into their son?
I would disagree with that. Luckily, I ain't had to go through that because my father passed away when I was 21. When I first got to the sheriff department, he passed away with a heart attack. So basically, everything that I've been going through, I go through on my own because my only other uncle, he stays in California. So pretty much I've been taking my lumps over the years, really on my own, because I don't have that father figure there to help guide me through certain things. It's things I probably would have did that I have done that if he was still here, he'd have said, "No, son, don't do that."
Right. Now, let's get it on a strict part. Sometimes we can have a parent that could be a little too strict, a little too strong, and that could cause a problem too.
Rebellion.
In a household.
Yes.
It could be like, the child don't feel trapped, don't feel like is able to breathe or have any kind of friends or just regular structure without being intimidated or nervous or scared, because sometimes, strictness from a parent could be overbearing and cause the child to shut down and go another direction because they're too strict. So we gotta have the balance, and I believe that's why God had a man and woman, because the woman is she'll nature you, and the man he put things in order, but sometimes we can be too strong sometimes, and we gotta have a balance. You agree?
Definitely. And I can speak for my household. I grew up in a household. I had 4 brothers and 2 sisters, plus mom and dad. So it was 9 of us in the projects growing up in one household. And I would like to say how I was shaped as a man, and most of my brothers and some of the people that I know that were connected to my family, I had an example. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes me very fortunate, and that's what kind of sets me apart from everybody else. I had an example, and I had a father that came home, put the money on the table, treated my wife, not my wife, but treated my mother, which was his wife, as royalty. Didn't want the boys bringing all of these women to the house and all of these girls to the house. If you're going to date somebody, have one girlfriend, respect her, do the right thing by her. So I was very fortunate because I seen the way my dad treated my mother, so it kind of transcended in the way I treat my wife and my kids. So I say that I'm very fortunate, but there's always a flip side.
Yeah, it's a flip side because on my side, my dad, he was there, but he ran the streets a lot. He loved to gamble. I mean, he was the card guy, he's the number guy, and he was very active in the street, and he loved the streets more than he loved home. Now he tried to take care of home, but he did the best he could. Yeah. To my understanding, and when I got older, I understood a little bit more because he ran away from home when he was like 13. So I'm like, what could he have been taught from his father running away from home at 13? And then I think, why did he run away from home at 13? Because there's all cause and effects again, and then, so I couldn't be that mad at him because he didn't really know how to be a father. So he was the best he was able to be, and I was able to accept that, and he used to beat on my mom a lot, beat her up, and I don't know where he got that from, and I didn't go that route because a lot of times when you're a child, you're a sponge and you absorb a lot of things, and either you go for it or you go against it, and I went against it, and I don't do things like that. I never have and never will, but sometimes other people go that route, So a lot of time your problem starts when you're a child. If you read the Bible, King Herod was after Jesus when he was a child because he knew that he was going to grow up and be the king. And he was worried about, is he going to be the king? He might take over my kingdom. And so he's like, let me go get him while he's young and little, while he don't have a kingdom or army and whatnot, and kill him. And the angel went to Joseph in the dream and told him, hey, move, get on out of here. Now, they didn't have to run because that's Jesus. But sometimes you got to have a little common sense and don't have a lot of pride and use wisdom. So they got up and moved. But the best time the devil to attack us is when we're young, because when it happened when we're young, it affects us down the line when we're older. And it tear up a lot of relationships when we get older, and we don't even sometimes even know why or what happened way back here causing you to be jacked up now as you're an adult, So that's a good point.
Yes, I do believe in, like I said, karma as well. I believe in whatever, because don't get me wrong, I have a stepsister and a stepbrother outside my mother's marriage and everything. But sometimes what we have done or somebody in our past have done comes back to haunt you.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I mean, karma don't have to affect you per se. It don't have to affect. It could hit your kids at some point in time. You know what I mean? You never know what happened in the past to affect what's going on now.
Right. And that's a good point because
that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
It could affect you. Like I said, karma come back and it may not hit you, but it could hit someone that you connected with to affect you.
Yes.
Bill, what you about to say?
I like the topic cause and effect.
Right.
I like that. And I just want to go to what the word says real quick. In 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, it says, no temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. So basically, it's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
Here. Okay. No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. That's very important.
Very important.
But with the temptation, he will also provide the way of escape that you may be able to endure.
Now, you got to say that again because I love it.
Okay.
That was deep.
Y'all listen to this. This is some good stuff. Really listen.
Because what it all boils down to, we're going to chop it up, but we're going to
chop it up.
We're going to get some word in here. I just want to read this one more time. 1 Corinthians 10 and 13 says, no temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide the way of escape that you may be able to endure it.
See, that's why I love you, Phil, because you bring some good stuff to the table. Now, let's talk about that.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this. I'm gonna throw this scripture, and I just want to say this. You mentioned cause and effect,
Yes, sir.
and our flesh wants to do what our flesh causes our body to do what we want to do, not what the word says, but what we want to do. So when you talk about cause and effect, in our own minds, we think we're running this show. We think we're the boss.
Right.
So in my mind, I'm saying to myself, if I'm in the world, and if I'm being an outside thinker, not what the word says, but what I'm saying is cause. I'm doing this and I'm cheating on my wife because I want to, because it makes me happy, because this woman is fine, because she has a Coca-Cola bottle shape, and because she has the greatest sex in the universe. That's part of the cause.
Mm-hmm. That old lust.
Okay.
Make you go, woo.
That's part of the cause.
Guys,
Because
yeah, come on.
As long as we're in this flesh is potentially deadly and dangerous.
Dangerous. Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
But there's an effect behind it.
Yes, the effect.
And the effect is that you're going to cause discord in your house and in your marriage, where it might cause you to be down a divorce court.
Right.
The effect
I've been there.
The effect also can be that you wind up making kids with this woman that you in that cause with. It might affect some kids to come along and be put into this equation, which is going to cause
Detrimental effect.
it's going to be detrimental.
Relationships.
It's going to be a detrimental effect of the relationship. And part of the effect is it makes it harder for reconciliation. And it makes it harder for reconciliation, and it makes it harder for redemption to come forward, because now you have a wife that is standing by her husband, even though the husband fell, but as part of that cause caused the effect, and now the wife has to look at Junior.
Yeah.
That's not hers.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on now. Now you got to look at Junior. So
Right.
that's part of the effect.
Right.
And
right,
then
right.
not only is it going to cause misery to the wife that might decide, I'm going to stand by my man and I'm going to work my marriage out, and my husband made a mistake and we're going to work it out, but it makes it harder
Right.
to be able to achieve reconciliation simply because now that effect might not only just affect that child that's born out of that wedlock, but then you got to go down to the child support court. Now there's monies that's going to be taken out of the family's household that has to take care of this outside child, and that's going to cause problems under the cause, and it's going to be part of the effect as well. So it's like cause and effect. Cause is okay because we want to do it, but this effect, it makes it 10 times worse.
Yes, the effect hits everybody.
We got Mike on the line. Go ahead, Mike.
We got a caller. Caller, what's up? Chop it up with us.
What's up? Chop it up.
What's up? Chop it up. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's going
What's up,
on?
my brothers?
right. This
I
Stephen
just had
King
to
in the house.
call in. I know I'm not there this week. Just got out of a funeral of a young brother that passed that was a real close friend, and we just want to send up some prayers for the family.
Yes.
But I did have a comment about the topic today, and you're talking about relationships. And I do believe that we are supposed to be married. And then I think Minister TC had a comment about the priest and them taking a vow not to be married. And I don't know if I agree with it or not, but I don't think that them taking a vow not to get married and to put God first in their life is the reason that we have, and I am a Catholic, that we have priests that have been caught as pedophiles. I think they're two different things. A pedophile is a sick person that messes with kids, and it's even different than being homosexual. So I don't want to confuse that matter. I think that just because there were a number of priests and there was a very small percentage of priests, if you look at the overall number of priests, not to discredit it, but, pedophilia is a disease. It's a sickness. And I don't think it has anything to do with them taking a vow of being devoted to God for the rest of their life. And that's all I want to say.
Well, that's a good statement. And you know what? And like Phil said, we could use that for another topic, because I really want to go into that because of the sexual perversion of it. When you're dealing with sin and perversion, and then you're dealing with natural body reactions, you got to realize that man is geared to be sexual response as a woman, but if you don't, as a man, if we don't release, it's going to get released one way or another. And I'm just for just keeping it real, I'm just if I don't have sex, after a while, my sperm kind of come to build up.
Those soldiers
And look. Now, the key thing is I do not have to have sex. But when I go to sleep, I might have what they call, come on, y'all, keep it real, wet dream. It's coming out eventually because it's time for the old to go and the new come in. It's just how it is. So if the priest, was married, perhaps he wouldn't have such an urge to go grab anything to release. Now, I'm not saying that's the answer or whatever. Sin is sin.
Yeah, but wouldn't you think that it would be towards an adult?
Not necessarily.
That's what you have the dreams about, an adult. You don't have it about kids.
Yeah, no.
That's something totally different.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. But what I'm saying, if you woke and that's the only thing you around, then a predator go after what he's able to grab hold to at that particular time. Now, if a priest didn't have that on him or whatnot, maybe, I ain't saying all, perhaps he would have went after a woman instead of a young boy. Perhaps. But like I said, that's a whole nother show, whole nother topic.
So let me ask you another question related to your topic. What about, and maybe this is another show as well, what about no sex before marriage?
This is a church-based talk show, and I love it. Can we follow the Bible? And if we do follow the Bible, we won't have a lot of problems that we do have. That was my downfall. I had sex before marriage. I wish I would not have sex before marriage. See, the world put on, hey, have sex is great. You don't got to wait till you get married. And a lot of women would probably say they wish they would have waited.
Let's make this clear. Having sex without being married is a sin.
Right.
That's just what it is.
It's called fornication.
That's right. And that falls under the line of sin. Any other sin you can think of, it's the same thing. So just because a woman is single and a woman decides to have a sexual relationship with somebody, or a man is single and they have a sexual relationship with him, if you're not married, it's still a sin. It's sin, and it's just what it is. So even though caller, even though I didn't do it the right way, and even though me and my wife had sex before we was married, I'm here to tell the panel, and I'm here to tell the people watching this show, me and my wife did it the wrong way. It was wrong.
Right.
And we're going to have to answer to that at some time. But I'm here to tell you that we serve a God that wants us to serve him in excellence. And the excellence that I should have served God and my wife should have served God was that we should have waited before we had sex. We should have waited until we were married. We didn't do it the right way. We did it the wrong way. And I just want to make it clear. That was sin that me and my wife was taking part of. But guess what? We serve a master that is a forgiving God. I believe that me and my wife repented for what we did, and God took that sin and threw it in a sea of forgetfulness.
Amen.
And I think that's where some of that grace and some of those mercies come in, because God gave us a second chance. So I would never tell anybody, and I just want to make this very clear, myself or my wife would never tell anybody to test the waters. Now, there's a courting process where you should date and you should court, because you need to get to know a person. But if you're going to partake in sin and if you're going to partake in sex without being married, you are 100% wrong. So I'm saying to myself, I was 100% wrong. So I don't want to pass the buck, and I don't want to seem like I'm without sin, because I'm far from that. But another quick thing I would like to reach on the topic is that if there are priests that are having any type of unnatural sexual fantasies or sexual relationships or anything like that with little boys or little girls that are children, I believe that falls under pedophilia, and I believe that falls under the sickness that our caller was just talking about. Because if you so choose to sin, and if you're a man of the cloth, then why did you not choose to sin with an adult or someone of your equal? Why would you prey on a juvenile or someone
Defenseless.
that is under your authority?
Defenseless, yeah.
That's defenseless. Because if you're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, you cannot consent to any type of sexual activity. So I feel that, just to touch on what the caller says, any type of sexual contact or sexual conduct with a minor, being a man of the cloth or a priest or a pastor or anybody, is dead wrong.
Right.
And I'm labeling as a pedophile.
Is there somebody else?
No, it's Mike still.
Oh, yeah, Mike. So
I'm going to hang up so you can get some more callers. But thank you so much. I'll see you in a couple of weeks on the air.
Okay,
Chop it up.
All right, big
Later,
baby.
All right, Mike, take care.
Love you, Mike.
Yeah. So peace. Oh, so Keith. So the women you was going after, you was having sex with, at that particular time, you didn't see no problem at that time in your life.
No, I didn't see it being a problem. Be honest with you, I think it's the last time I was just locked up for this BS, and then I really started hitting the books, and then I started realizing, wow, whew, man, I was dead wrong in many areas. You know what I mean? It's really hard. If you really look at that, get into that Bible, everybody's sinning.
Yes, everybody.
It's hard to do
sin.
To not sin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's hard. There's so many things in there that's like, and if you really read it and get into it, and you just look at what's going on around the world, you say, wow, I see why these catastrophes and everything is happening, and things are happening in people's lives and this, that, and other, is because no one's living right.
Right. Come on, you preaching, man.
So
I know you was preaching. I like that. I
have
Keith.
a question. I have a question for Keith. If I
Yes,
may.
yes.
So, my question to you is: you had extramarital affairs, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you stand by what you did.
Yes.
Correct. Do you believe that just because your wife was not giving you what you needed at the time, do you believe that you had a right to go out there as a man and do what you did?
No.
Okay.
No. I was dead wrong.
Now, at the time, did you think you was wrong when you was doing it?
I knew I was wrong.
Okay. You know it was
Yeah,
wrong?
I knew it was wrong. Yeah, you know what I mean? But I think at the time, it's like, you know, it was not only just that, it was a lot of other things going on in my marriage, you know what I mean? As far as my ex-wife didn't get along with my mother. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So there was a division between her and my mother. You know what I'm saying? So I was being torn both ways. You know what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden I'm being torn both ways, but I know that's still my mama. I know that's my wife. You know what I'm saying? But y'all can't seem to get along. You know what I mean? Because my father had already passed. Now, if my father was still around, maybe none of this would have been happening. But then all of a sudden you get out here in this world and you got all this on your mind. All of a sudden you approach another woman, a woman approach you, and now you can talk to her about it. You know what I'm saying? It just, women also too. Women know when they want something, they pay attention. They watch. Oh, they watch. They watch what you do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, they watch. Yeah.
They pay attention.
Everybody watching.
Right. They pay attention to what you missing, this, that, and other, and then they attack that. But that's also the devil attacking.
Right. But also, I'm gonna tell y'all, sometimes women could be on a prowl.
Right.
You know, they coming after you too.
Right.
Right.
But when they come on a prowl, they paying attention to everything that you're missing.
Right.
And then, but like I said before, it's not really just them, it's the devil. The devil saying, I know what you're missing, and I'm about to send it at you.
Right.
Because I know
to
your
mess you
weakness.
up. They're gonna mess you up.
Right. I know your
Right.
weakness.
So,
right.
Keith, so you said you had some downtime and you've been able to get into your Bible. You've been able to read your Bible. Okay. Have you been able to read the Bible? Have you been able to understand it? Because sometimes the Bible is hard to read sometimes, and sometimes it's hard to retain. But what you have read, were you able to retain it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, in the Bible, it speaks about the union of husband and wife.
Yes.
So we know this to be true, that, and I want to know if this is something that you can understand and respect, that as it stands as a husband and your wife, you guys are right there.
Right.
So your wife comes first.
Right.
Over your mom.
Over my mom.
Over
your mom.
Are you okay? My question is, your wife comes. Your mom. Once you said yes to your wife,
Right.
Now mom is secondary,
And that's in the Bible.
That's in
and
the
that's
Bible.
and that's in the Bible. How do you feel about that?
I agree to it.
Okay.
I agree with that because it's in the Bible.
Okay.
But I would say this: I would never, ever, ever deal with another woman that can't get along with my mom, because when the divorce went down, guess who I had to go back to?
Gotcha.
In tears.
Got you.
But let me
To my
ask you.
mom.
But okay, I like that. Let's talk about
I
that.
got you. Hold on a second. Call us.
Is there a caller?
If you want to call in, the number is 216-298-1554. 216-298-1554.
Because that thinking, and I'm not knocking you, I think it's sort of like negative thinking, whatnot, because, and I'm not knocking it, saying it in a bad way, because my thing is, when you find a woman, and the Bible says when you find a woman to be a wife, and if you don't get along with your mother, you don't want to go be married to that person. You're not going to be married to your mom. And you and your mother should always have a beautiful relationship. And no way in the world your relationship should be crushed from just marrying a woman and they don't get along. And now if they don't get along, it's got to be some kind of reason why they don't get along. It could be whatever. But you should not stop yourself from falling in love because this woman or they don't get along. Because it may be some mothers out there may not get along with nobody, daughter-in-law. I don't like none of them, you know, da. But see, you got to live your own life. And the mother and father should respect that.
Yes.
Because whether you choose right or wrong, only thing I can do, I give you the information. Hey, that's a bad deal, I'm gonna give you this. But it's up to you to choose to pick. I can't make you choose to pick, because if I try to force you, gonna go the other way anyway. So it's something that you have to learn sometimes yourself. And the Bible says, you gotta cleave to your wife, or so. Your wife and your mother not get along, it can happen, and it has happened to many people. And and it causes a problem. But it shouldn't cause a problem. It should be separate things.
I mean,
I just want to make things clear, just with me. I love my wife, and I love my mother. My mother's deceased,
Right.
but I love my wife and I love my mother. I'm not going to tolerate my mother disrespecting my wife. That's number one, and you have to set that precedence right from the cuff. I'm not going to tolerate my wife disrespecting my mother. You got to set that precedence. But my mother has to be able to understand what the Bible declares, that this is my wife, and this is the union, and this is who comes first. Because once you get down the line and you get into kids and your parents and everyone else, and they don't like your wife or they don't like your husband,
siblings.
We have or siblings.
Right.
We have a very distorted view
Guys, I gotta say something.
on things.
Jump in.
Well, jump on in, Pastor. Jump on in.
I gotta say something. Okay, see, you're looking at the Old Testament, and I understand what the book of Genesis says about when you leave your mother and father.
cleave to you.
But you got to understand. See, back then, marriages were how do I put it? Set up.
Yes. That's true.
The mother and the father met the girl. They knew the family. They knew the family of the family, and they said, "This is somebody for you."
Right.
Okay. We can't take that system that they had back in ancient times and bring it up to 2019 and say, "Well, if you don't like my mama, and my mama don't like you, we gonna get married anyway." No, your mama's probably trying to tell you something.
And be honest with you, I'm glad you said that.
You know what
because
I'm
my
saying?
mother,
She
when I went back to her,
Right.
she said, this is what I was trying to tell you 20 years ago.
Right, 20 years, and that's just what I point.
But you
Mothers
have a
know.
choice. You have a choice
Mothers
with that
know.
beforehand,
Fathers
right,
know. So I mean, we try to take mosaic things and bring it up to 2018. No, back then the parents knew the children and the children's parents. Now you don't know what you're getting, but your mama know you. And your mama know what you need. But now I gotta say it again. Now in 2020 and 2019, you got mamas that don't even raise their children.
Right.
So they don't
That's
know.
true. That's true.
So you really do need Christ
Without
in the
a doubt.
center of it all.
Uh-huh.
And when you said one thing very important, if you abstain from having sex before marriage, which is very difficult to do, God will be in it.
Yes, he will. Yes, he
will
will.
be in it.
Yes, he will.
Because on my third
Yes, he
wife,
will.
we abstain, and God has been in it.
Amen.
Okay.
You follow me? But number one and number two, God wasn't in it.
I'm going to tell you, Pastor, and I'm going to let out a little something about myself.
Okay.
So my oldest son and my youngest son, they have a problem because they say that, or their moms, I believe, is putting in their ear that your dad loves his wife more than he loves you, and that has been a problem in my household.
That's the devil.
For years. And my kids, my sons, one is 20 and one's 18, has been feeling some type of way about that for years. But they need to understand that you're my kids and this is my wife, okay? And I'm not going to allow you as my kids to break up my relationship with my wife simply because when the rubber hits the road and a couple of years go down the road, they want to meet the woman
They wife.
that
They
butters
girl.
their toast.
Yeah, come on.
They gonna forget
Right.
about me.
Yep.
And I'm gonna be sitting at
With
the house
nobody, rocking
with
in a chair.
rocking in a chair, single, eating ramen noodles for Thanksgiving.
Watching the Jets by yourself.
Watching the Jets by myself. So what I'd like to say is, no,
Right.
devil, you're
Right.
not gonna do that. My wife is my wife. That's the rib that God pulled out of me and made her with.
Amen.
So we're going to learn how to get along because I'm not leaving or forsaking my wife for my kids. Amen. Period. So guess what? This is the same wife that wiped your boo-boo butt and wiped your snotty nose and brought cupcakes up to the school when your own mother wasn't available to do that.
Right.
So we have to take things in perspective that the wife and the husband have to make sure that they're on one accord with everything that they do, because children can kind of get in there and they can make things difficult and they can try because they're master manipulators.
Well, I'm gonna say this. A lot of times what people don't understand, it's not the children, it's the mothers. The mothers put things
Yeah,
in their
in their
head.
head. That's what he said. Yeah,
Put
yeah.
things in their head and then warp their thinking to go against you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going through the same exact situation right now. I can't see my kids. Okay, but I'm the one that got up in the middle of the night and gave him bottles. So I'm the one that got him up in the middle of the night when he had asthma attacks and this, that, and other. I'm the one that did all this. But now because you had found out I lived with another woman, so now you got an attitude. So now you go add them to the restraining order. So now you talking about what? Now I get an attorney saying, well, she's willing to have them testify against you. She's willing to put them on the bench. Who the hell does that? Who gonna put the kids against their parents? That's not something I would ever do.
Right.
But for some odd reason, women feel two things is going to hurt a man. The money is the first thing going on.
Yeah.
And then it's the kids.
And it does. Those two things do hurt.
Well, hold
They
on a
do
second,
hurt.
TC. So, I respect that, Key,
Right.
and I appreciate that. So let's go back to this cause and effect.
Right, there you go. Come on.
So let's go back to the root. What is the cause and effect with some of the things that you're going through now that shouldn't have been caused in the first place, but now this is in effect.
Right.
Now this
And
is
it-
all in effect.
and
of
it's
what happened from
affecting
the
you.
cause.
Right.
It's affecting you now.
Right.
So I'd
The
like
root.
for you to just look into the camera and speak to the camera from the heart and chop it up and say, look, this is some of the effects that I'm going through because of some of the things that I
did.
caused.
Right.
So speak to that
Okay. I would say because of
and keep it 100.
right. Because of the adultery and everything, going through the divorce,
Come on.
is a reason why things are happening right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, things just sort of went downhill from there. You know what I mean? But on the flip side, how can I put it? It takes two people. I tell people all the time, that mirror is something else. If you can't look at yourself in the mirror and say, what I need to do to change to save my marriage, then you shouldn't do it. Not only that, you need to do a background check of whoever your mate is. Because whoever their mother, their father, their uncles is who you about to marry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So
I agree with
so like even with the situation with my mother and my ex-wife not getting along. Well, my ex-wife had an issue with her mother and her father leaving her when she was a child. So for her to actually care about me and my mother's relationship,
She don't.
She don't. She didn't
She
care.
might be
That's
jealous.
right. That's
You know what I
right.
mean?
She
She
could
didn't
be
care.
jealous.
That's
Sometimes
right.
it could be
I
She
jealous.
didn't,
Right.
she didn't
I
care.
appreciate
You know what I'm saying?
that.
So I'm not saying, I mean, adultery by all means is wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the time, I was missing so much in my marriage with my ex-wife because she had a lot of issues that was in her past. You know what I'm saying? That was coming to the forefront, which pushed me out in the streets.
But did that give it a right for you to
No,
do what
do
you
it.
no,
do?
it didn't. It
Right.
didn't. No, it
Right.
didn't.
You didn't understand that then, but would it be safe
Right.
to say you understand,
I understand
that
it
now?
now, yes.
Okay.
Right.
So
So then-
that's the effect.
Yes,
And then you got to look at that affect her. That situation made her broken.
Okay.
For her not having a good relationship with her mom. Now the situation with you and your mom is more luggage piled on her, and now you have an adultery affair and more luggage piled on her, and now y'all separated. Yeah, she hurt. Now she gonna use whatever she can to make you hurt. The kids go against them. Give me the money, go, cause I want to hurt you because I'm being hurt, and I'm gonna hurt you to make you feel what I feel.
Right.
And the effect blows up on everybody, cause while y'all going at it, the kids is being affected too.
TC, can I say something?
Yes.
Let's get back to the basics here. Because we have cause and effect. Let's deal with the cause right now. As men, as the chief priest, the Bible declares that we're chief priests of our home.
Yes.
So as the men, as the leaders, I'd like to speak for all the men right now. We have to minimize our cause.
Right.
Because if we minimize our cause, you will definitely minimize the effects.
Yes.
But everything starts with the cause first.
Right.
And if we can just, and I'm just going to say this, I'm going to pass this right back to you, TC. If we, as men, if we identify things and if we call it what it is, and if we minimize our causes, if we have no causes, we'll have no effects.
Yes.
Right.
But we're not perfect. So if we minimize our causes, it would definitely minimize our effects greatly. So let's go back to the basics and let's realize some of the things that causes our causes.
Right. And a key thing I wanted to.
A key thing with a pun intended.
Yeah. A key thing, not a key thing, but a key thing
A key
that I
thing.
wanted to expound on is that
Yes.
sometimes our friends tell us wrong things to do. And I told you before, I was a disservice to you because me being in the church and knowing what God want, and when I knew you was doing these things, I did you a disservice for not trying to correct you. Now, I'm not saying it's my job to correct you, but it's my job to give you my point of view as a man, as a man of God, and say, hey, man, that ain't right.
Right.
And you didn't have a lot of that going on, because I ha ha, and laugh a couple times, and I might have said, well, that ain't right. But I didn't expound on it, and I was wrong for doing that. And I asked you for forgiveness. As man, sometimes we got to ask for forgiveness. Call in if you want to say something, 216-298-1554. Put your ideas and thoughts on that line, or
TC,
text it in.
Let me just read this real quick. 1 Thessalonians 4:3. It says, "For this is the will of God, your sanctification, that you abstain from sexual immorality." So let's get back to that cause.
Yes.
Let's get back to the cause, because that's what we have to deal with.
Right.
Because our fight really is not with the effect, because the effect is going to happen.
Right.
After the cause.
That's right. Let's deal with the cause. Let me just read that one more time. 1 Thessalonians 4:3. "For this is the will of God for your sanctification, that you abstain from sexual immorality." I want you to deal with that, TC. I want you to talk to the people, and I want you to deal with that under the cause. You need me to read that one more time?
No, that's good.
Okay.
See, the thing is, as fellas, as guys, we are taught and trained the wrong and proper way. And then we pick it up and we run with it. And then when we learn the right way, we already caused a lot of problems in our life. You see, that's how the devil gets you. See, the key thing is learning while you're young. If you learn this while you're young, then you won't run into so many pitfalls or trap falls. We won't run into a lot of them. But we don't learn this stuff till later. Sometimes we pick a spouse, and we picking the spouse for the wrong reason. And then after some years of hardship and things like that, we realize, hey, I'm picking for the wrong reason. I should have done this, I should have done that. And the Bible tell you what to do, what to look for. And that's why you got a courtship. Having sex all the time and watching TV, and they have sex and your friends and porn and all that stuff, it's going to cause a terrible effect in your life.
Yes.
Simple as that. And not want to wait until time comes is going to cause an effect. And the effect it causes might last a lifetime.
We spend so much time dealing with the effects that we don't address the cause. Let me just say that one more time. We spend so much time addressing and trying to redirect and trying to fix the effects, we don't pay any attention to the cause. You see, we need to flip that. And we need to take all of our time and effort and knowledge, and we need to address the cause.
Let me just respond on that so they understand. What he's saying, we trying to fix the effect. So I'm out here having sex and kicking it, and my kids are upset, and my ex-wife is going crazy, whatever. But I'm still out here having sex. Yeah. I'm trying to fix this, but I ain't fixed the problem, y'all. I'm still out here screwing, and doing stuff, right. And I'm trying to fix this, but hey, the root of it, stop doing this. What you doing?
That's the basics.
So that's what we were saying. We trying to fix the effect, but we ain't looking at the cause and fixing that. That's what we need to work on.
I would say this too. I'll never forget a few months ago I was in church, and it was one of my neighbors was staying down the street. He was beating up on his ex-wife, and then they divorced. Then they got back together. Then they divorced like a week after that. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things he told me, which meant a lot, he said, we are held accountable as far as the Lord being in your home. He said, as a man, if you don't bring the Lord into your home, it's never going to make it. It's never going to make it. And I had to sit back and think about that on what he said, because I was never a church-going person when I was coming up as a kid. My father was a Mason, but I was never a church-going person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So therefore, now I'm starting to understand. But like you said, it's back to the cause and effect. But now I'm 51. You know what I'm saying? So all these years of living the wrong way, cost me some things.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It cost me some things. So,
Yes.
so therefore, but now I understand. Now I know. Now it's my job to try to teach some of these other younger guys that's coming up.
That's the key.
You know what I mean? That, hey man, don't do that. That Bible right there, that's a bad motor student right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is.
That's a bad motor student because if you
It works.
if you don't live right, it's some effects coming down the road.
Right. And that's why I said we done each other injustice by not standing up as men and say, hey, we've been taught wrong. We've been doing stuff wrong. And when we see a brother of ours, we care for him, we need to say, hey, man, don't do that. That ain't right, And that's what we have to do as Christian man and loving man. And like you said, in our household, we as guys, and we need to bring God in. And women, if the guy not bringing God in, then you bring him in. The Bible says sanctify wife will sanctify the husband, sanctify the wife. So bring God in. And, you can't beat nobody over here with God, but bring them in and let God do the work. We can't change nobody. Only God can, but we can just show them love.
And it's like the devil is so busy and he's so prevalent in everything that we do because we try to be good husbands. We try to be good stewards over our money. We try to be good fathers. And it's like the devil kind of throws you a curveball because we're men and we're young men and we're gainfully employed. And we're men that wear uniforms and we stand for something. And some of us are supervisors and some of us are just, and it seems like that, what do we say to that, brother minister, that some of these extra things that God has blessed us with that draws women even more and it makes it harder to say no. What would you say to that, Key?
Well, what I've learned.
Because you was a supervisor.
Yes. What I learned now is that even when I leave up out of here, out this building today, what I try to program my mind to thinking is, which way is the devil coming at me today?
I like that.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
You know what I mean? He's coming at me.
I like that.
It's just what angle, what route he's going to take today. You know what I'm saying? So every day I understand that he's coming at me, but which way?
Right.
How he's going to come at me.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to live life now, understanding that I don't care every day it's going to be, because he knows it just as well as the Lord knows us. He knows what's
What
our
we like,
weaknesses.
yep, what
He
we
knows
like,
everything.
yeah,
So
yes.
what he's going to do is he's going to attack that
Right.
at all times.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we got to learn how to say no. I got to live this way.
Right. Now, I can see a change in you. You're a different man than you was before. Now, can you tell me in about 1 minute, can you change and give the brothers some hope that they are able to change because you have changed? Just, in a minute or so. What you say about the change? Can you change?
You can change. I would tell anybody out here, you can change, but you have to get into that book. You got to get in the church, and you have to live the right way. Because a lot of us don't understand. If you don't go to church, you don't read that Bible, you won't know. You know what I mean? So anybody can change, but you have to hit that Bible. You have to get, not only that, get some mentors.
And accountability.
Yeah, accountability.
You got to be accountability.
Right, mentors and everything, because I didn't know, so I got older folks that helped me out. You know what I'm saying? Every day. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I be slipping. You know what I mean? And,
keep it real.
and then I
But get back up and try again.
Right. Then I gotta call somebody to say, hey, I'm slipping. You know what I'm saying? And they say,
Right.
You know what I mean? So anybody can change.
Right.
But you have to put the work in to change.
Right. Okay, y'all. The show is wrapping up. It was a really good show. I really liked it. But I have a man conference coming up. If you could key in on this, Pastor, for you guys, ladies, whatnot. Send your boyfriend, your kids, because we need to pour into the kids, the young brothers. Come to this conference. It's next month on the 17th, 18th, and 19th. It will be on my Facebook page. We'll be on my Facebook page. So if you guys don't know Jesus Christ, your personal Savior, you're going through problems, ask the Lord Jesus to come to your heart and save you. Say, Lord, forgive me for my sins. Come into my heart and save me and help me. And he will help you. He'll save you and he'll help you. In 2 weeks, come on back, chop it up. We're going to chop it up some more. I appreciate y'all listening. God bless everybody. Come again in 2 weeks to chop it up. Thank you. I want to thank my guest, Stephen Key, and my co-host, Minister Phil Robinson. Peace, everybody. We love y'all. Go Rowdy. Go Rowdy.
time the season starts to change, all I have to do is call out your sweet name, and you're right there. My